Hi, I'm Todd Lee. I'm the Youth Programs Director here at the Akins YMCA. We are excited that camp is finally starting June 1st, and thank you for joining us during this virtual parent orientation. I always enjoy meeting with y'all, and I'm sorry that we don't get to meet together. If you haven't done so, please download the parent handbook listed on the summer camp page. We'll be covering that today, as well as discussing any changes that have been made due to current regulations. Please email me if you have any questions or concerns. First, we'll talk about the grouping of our campers this summer. We'll have our Yakima group, which is going to be our 3rd through 8th grade group. Our Mohicans will be our 2nd and 3rd grade groups. Our Cherokee will be 1st and 2nd grades. Apache will be pre-K and kindergarten. And unfortunately, due to regulations, the LIT program is canceled for this summer. For registration purposes, only register for the weeks your child will attend. Unlike other programs, you only have to register for the weeks that you know that your child's going to be here. So if you have a family vacation that you know that's coming, you do not have to register for that. If you wish to withdraw for a certain week, please do so at least 2 weeks in advance. And if camp fills prior to registration, you may place your child on the waiting list, and then you will be contacted if a spot becomes available. For payments, you must have your camp session paid in full by the Wednesday before the session begins. If not paid by Friday at 12 p.m., your child may be removed and the spot may be given to a camper that is on the waiting list. If your child is removed and the session is full, your child may be placed at the bottom of the waiting list. Here's some camp procedures that we want to cover. For arrival and departure, you must drop off between 7:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. at the camp entrance. Upon arrival, stay in the car until directed by the staff to exit. Your child will be screened, which includes a temperature check and a series of questions. Please do not drive away until the screening is complete. If your child has a fever of 100 degrees or more, or exhibits respiratory symptoms including a cough, shortness of breath, they will not be permitted to attend camp until they are 72 hours fever and symptom-free. Should your child have a doctor's appointment, please let us know ahead of time so that we can have someone available to sign your child in or out. All drop-off and pickup will be available at the camp entrance, and please pickup will be available between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Please have your ID ready, as we may have different staff out there at different times. If anyone other than you will be picking your child up from camp, they must be listed on the release form. Any changes to the pickup list must be made in advance and in writing or through your online account. Please read our late pickup policy in the parent handbook, but note that they must be picked up by 6 p.m. So here are some classroom requirements. Once checked in, each camper will report directly to the classroom they are assigned to. Campers will remain in the same group throughout the day. Our classroom sizes consist of 1 counselor with 19 campers. Our pre-K and kindergarten group will have 2 counselors with 17 campers. Due to current regulations, your child may be assigned to a different group than they would be under normal circumstances. We will not allow campers within different groups to interact. We will also be observing social distancing practices while having the kids in the classroom and throughout the facility. So let's talk about activities. For the indoor gym, we will only allow 1 group to use the space at a time, so we'll have to do away with our morning assembly and afternoon assembly. Equipment will be sanitized between each group's use. And for outdoor, we will be utilizing outdoor space as much as possible where social distancing is most obtainable between groups. Playground structures will be sanitized between each group's use. And for swim, we will allow each group to swim once per day while staggering swim times to avoid interaction between groups. We will have additional staff to take campers swimming. The counselors will remain with their campers who do not wish to swim. At this time, we will not be doing swim lessons. If guidelines change, we will reevaluate. And now for the swim times. So Cherokees, they will swim at 9 o'clock. So please send them in their bathing suits. Apaches, the kindergarten age, will swim at 10 a.m. and the Apache pre-K age will swim at 11 a.m. Mohicans will swim at 1 p.m. and Yakimas will swim at 2. Unfortunately, due to our current regulations, we are unable to do field trips for the summer camp this summer. So let's discuss if your child is sick or even if one of our staff is sick. If your child is sick, first of all, please keep them home if they're showing any type of symptoms. Campers and staff must present one of the following upon returning after an illness: a doctor's note, a negative COVID test, no symptoms for 10 days, or fever-free or fever medication-free for 72 hours. Sanitizing measures that we'll be taking this summer is that we will sanitize restrooms after each group's use. Equipment will be sanitized between each group's use. Hand sanitizer will be provided and will require regular use, monitored by the counselor. Campers will wash or sanitize their hands during their group's restroom break. We will provide additional staff to patrol areas to enforce the equipment sanitation policy and conduct additional cleanings during times when equipment is not being used. So let's talk about lunches. Lunch will be supplied to all camp participants as well as an afternoon snack daily. All meals follow the USDA food program guidelines. Our camp is a nut-free zone, with the exception of our staff. We ask that you do not provide lunch or snacks that contain peanuts, peanut butter, or other nuts to ensure the health and safety of all the children in our camp. Meals and snacks are served by our camp staff, which have been trained in proper food handling procedures. Please note that no additional meals will be served after the times listed. We serve lunch between 11:30 and 1 p.m. and then PM snack between 3 and 4. Our medication policy is primarily established to accommodate the administration of medications commonly prescribed by physicians for the treatment of short-term illnesses. Please complete the medication authorization form that is included on our website. Keep all medication in the original container with the prescription label, directions attached, and medication must be labeled with the child's name, the name of the medication, the dosage amount, and the time or times to be given. Hand all medication, including inhalers, to the camp counselor that's at the back door. Campers are not allowed to keep medication on their person, in their backpacks or lunch bags. Each group has a backpack that the counselor carries that houses all emergency medications such as inhalers or EpiPens. All medications will be given to your child at the prescribed time and logged into our medication notebook. Should your camper be required to use sunscreen while participating at day camp, the following procedures must be followed in accordance to YMCA policies. Keep the sunscreen in the original container labeled with your child's name. Camp staff will remind campers to reapply sunscreen multiple times a day. Please note, once again, that due to state regulations, we are not allowed to apply sunscreen to your camper. We recommend spray sunscreen as we cannot rub the lotion on them. We can assist in spraying the sunscreen. If any time throughout the day that you need to contact us, you can call us at the telephone number that's listed in the parent handbook, or if you have any comments, questions, or concerns that are not time sensitive, you can reach us by email that's listed in the parent handbook. We also encourage you to sign up for our text alerts, which are listed in the parent handbook, and also our email list that's listed in the handbook. So what to bring to camp? So each day you will need to make sure that your campers have the following items in order to make sure that they're ready for the day. Please make sure that all items are labeled with your child's name. So the first thing is backpack. So with everything that's going on with the new regulations, your child's belongings need to stay in your child's backpack unless it's being used at that time. So one other thing that needs to be given is a water bottle. Now, we ask that you don't send them with the typical, plastic water bottle, but send one that is easily refillable and can be cleaned. Closed-toed shoes to wear is a must. Even though we're not going to be able to play the big group games that we normally play, still protecting the feet is a really good priority for us. You need to bring a towel. Please send sprayable sunscreens so our staff can assist in that manner, and then your child can rub in the sunscreen. Also send flip-flops only for pool use to and from the changing area and the swim area. What to leave at home? Every electronic your child wants to bring to summer camp. So no iPhones, no iPods, no tablets, no laptops, no gaming systems. Definitely no toys and no pets. So we are also a screen-free camp. So in other words, we will not allow your camper to use a cell phone should you want to provide them with that. So in other words, they're not going to have it in the classroom to be able to, text you or text their friends, only because we're unable to monitor that. Should they need to talk to you about anything, they can ask the counselor to call you, and they will be brought to the camp office, and then they can call you from there. So please do not send your children with any type of device or any toys, because the YMCA is not responsible for any lost or broken items. So let's cover our YMCA rules. First and foremost, we want the kids to come here and have fun. We talk to them about keeping their hands, feet, and body and objects to themselves. We want them to show respect to staff, others, and themselves. Always speak for themselves, but not for others. Also, do not willfully destroy YMCA property, and do not go anywhere without a YMCA staff person, and always clean up behind activities. Some consequences they may serve are verbal warnings, redirection to another activity, time away without activities, parent notification at pickup, meeting with a parent and behavior contract created, notice of suspension for 1 day, next day of care without refund, notice of 3-day suspension, next 3 days of care without refund, conference with program director, parent, and camper, and then the last case is removal from the program. Due to the seriousness of behavior, any step can be taken at any time. Here are some zero tolerance policies. Inflicting physical harm on another individual. Verbal threat that they may cause physical harm to another individual, or a verbal threat that they may destroy property. Any possession of a weapon, controlled substance, or alcohol. Use of foul language, inappropriate touching of another individual, and/or campers do not stay within the boundaries of camp. In other words, if they run out of the program. So now we're going to move into page 7 of our parent handbook. So for accidents and emergency policies and procedures, at all times we will have staff on site who are trained in first aid and CPR. Precautions will be taken to prevent serious health risk to campers. In the event that a minor injury occurs, first aid will be administered at the camp location by the camp staff. The following procedures will be as follows. First aid will be provided and the incident recorded in the camp incident report. The child will be periodically observed after the first aid has been applied. And we take head injuries very seriously. So if a child bumps their head, we actually call you and let you know that your child has hit their head. They may be fine, but we just want to let you know in case something turns up a little bit later. So we are a licensed program through the state of Georgia, right from the start as the licensing agency. Therefore, your records for your children need to be kept up to date. That's why we ask that you fill out the registration form completely and notify us of any type of changes that are made, whether it's the doctor or pickup information or even your address information. We do have a child abuse policy in place, and by law, all agencies that provide care for children are considered mandated reporters. So if there's any type of suspicion, just know that we have the best, your child's best interest in mind, and therefore we will make a report with the state. Our staff training and qualifications is that our staff receive a lot of training prior to camp, and they're going to be receiving a lot more due to the COVID policies. So all in all, they usually get about 30 hours of training, before camp even starts. And we work on things like what games they're going to be playing, activities, and even CPR, first aid. So just know that our staff are very well trained by the time camp starts. Usually our our counselor to child ratio is 1/18, but due to the new regulations, we are going to bump it to 1/19, considering the fact that each of our classrooms are only able to have 20 persons in each classroom. That's with the exception of our pre-K kindergarten group that will actually have 2 counselors to 17 of them. We do allow children with special needs, so it's good that you give us a call and talk to us about what your child's special needs may be. We pretty much tell you, what camp is like, and we allow you to make the decision whether or not to enroll your child. So we do have a medical treatment policy in place, and due to the fact that some medical treatments and procedures that legally the YMCA staff is not trained or qualified to perform, children will be enrolled on an individual basis, and we will make every attempt that we can to serve all children. So our bathroom procedures is that no camper is ever left alone, and no camper is ever alone with a staff member. We have a system in place which is called a rule of 3. So at least 3 people will be present with your child at all times. All campers will take trips to the restroom with the entire group, or a smaller group escorted by a staff member. Campers will only use restrooms that are inspected for safety by camp staff. Thanks for watching, and we're excited that camp is starting, and we can't wait to see you. If you have any questions, just email me. And once again, thanks for watching.